I was lucky enough to see Freddie Mercury, A World of His Own, at Sotheby's London in September 2023, a few days before the auction took place. It was part of a small group and it was a guided tour given by a member of Sotheby's, and it was fascinating. So Sotheby's described this as a panoramic display of Freddie's possessions from his home garden lodge. And what they had done is they'd recreated the house, and it was so amazing to see all of these things. So for example, this is like where you entered in, and they had recreated like I'm not sure what room this, I can't recall what room this was, but it was absolutely beautiful. And there was so much of like Freddie's passions in this room alone. You know, he really loved Japan, he really loved cats, he loved kimonos, he loved beautiful things. And what really struck me was how the condition, everything was in such incredible condition. These are pieces that have been around for many, many years, and they have been preserved. They've been used, don't get me wrong. You could see that they had been used, but they'd also been loved and really cared for. And it was just incredible to just see how it was very inspiring to see some of these pieces, because you just do not get things like this anymore. The other thing to point out is absolutely everything you see was put up for sale, and all the lots were sold, and 99% of them were above estimate price. And I'm not surprised, because like they were in excellent condition, they were very valuable, and they were very rare. And you know, having been owned by Freddie Mercury as well, that cachet, I'm not surprised that fans and non-fans alike were so keen to buy pieces from this. What was really interesting about this dinner set, I was asking about the plates, and apparently, you know, looking at the plate designs and cups, and they were all, as I said, so beautiful, and you could buy them as a set. And what was also interesting, I asked our tour guide if, you know, so for example, if you were bidding against like a large institution that wanted to buy this for their collection, would the institution perhaps have more an advantage over you because they're a larger institution and they're going to display it or whatever? And the tour guide was telling me, no, that's not the case. Everybody has it. When it comes to auction, everybody has an equal chance. So it's whoever it really does go to the highest bidder. And I think what was lovely about this is that you could see there was a real passion and there was a real love for Freddie coming through. Like, for example, our tour guide was saying that they didn't know much about Freddie Mercury prior to this actual exhibition and this auction, but now they were completely enamored, and I think that really came across. It was lovely to see how the entire space had been transformed entirely for this exhibition. So no surprise, my favourite part was the clothing. It was amazing to see all these fabrics. What really struck me was how narrow it all was. The cut was incredibly narrow. Like, there was no way that I would I was thinking to myself, oh, what would I buy and what would I wear? And like, aside from the kimonos and a few of the pieces, like some of the pieces look like they would be like a loose or an oversized fit, but they're really not. And it was really interesting just to look at the tailoring close up and seeing the details. And if you think back to, this was a pre-social media, pre-HD, pre-4K kind of like world, the devil in the detail was just incredible. You'll see it'd be like a sequin jumpsuit which was backless, or it would have like a cutout detail, or there'd be shoes that have a block heel and be of a certain color. And I thought that was really, really incredible. Like, his aesthetic and his style were very, very noticeable, and like you immediately kind of attuned into what his tastes were in terms of clothing. And you know, he was quite the showman, and it was wonderful and really, really nice to see. And also I loved that they also had pictures of like when Freddie had actually worn them for example, performances or even just at home. I was very impressed by this collection of kimonos, absolutely beautiful, and kind of hanging, you know, from the top. There was a lot of things as well. What really struck me was the volume of items that there were, and each of the things, like everything, as I say, I've said this already, but everything was in like really good condition and really well loved and cared and looked after. And you can see that he was someone who really loved beautiful things, but also knew how to care for them as well. And I think that's so important. And this was like my favorite room, obviously. This was like where all the clothes were kept. And I was, it was really funny. I kept asking the tour guide, I was like, is that for sale? Is that for sale? Like, it would never fit me, but I would just want to keep it as a part of history. And there were some really, really beautiful, iconic pieces and so much inspiration. So this was this exhibition, so, you know, they took over Sotheby's for a month for the auction, and it was just really, really fascinating to see. If you got the chance to go, let me know what you thought. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments.